Hello everyone, welcome to the No Strings Attached Esports channel. I'm your co-host Raja, and of course we have Camille. It's all about CS2 Cologne Major. It's always a fun time. Obviously, if you follow us on our main channel, we talk about football, basketball, but me and Camille, we love our esports, especially Counter-Strike esports. But it's always a fun time, Camille. Cologne Major, obviously, you being from
The big one.
Germany, it's always a great time. But look, as we're making this video, as we're recording this, we are a couple days away from the actual playoff stages, and we're gonna talk about that. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna talk about some of the games leading up to the playoffs, and then obviously we're gonna give you guys our playoffs predictions, sort of like our own pick'em. But Camille, do you want to start with some of the games going into the teams that you like, winners and losers, anyone that you want to talk about going into this playoff stage coming up soon here?
Yeah, I mean, let's start from stage one. Let's go through it one by one. We don't
Yeah.
have to linger for too long, but I guess notable misses that didn't make it through stage one. I guess if you want to look at Liquid, Energy, those are probably the biggest names
Yes.
that didn't make it. Obviously, the US teams, and then Big coming back against Energy in that 2-2 final decider match on Mirage,
16.
coming back 12, making it 16-12. I couldn't believe my eyes. Like I've
Yeah.
watched so many VODs from obviously it's Berlin International Gaming. It's a German
Yeah.
institution in Counter-Strike, right? I've watched so many VODs from like German Counter-Strike influencers and on Own a Pixel and stuff like that. Everyone was just going crazy. It was good fun, good energy, but yeah, unbelievable that they made it. The energy, oh my God, like I don't know how you're going to come back from that, but good luck
Yeah.
to them. Obviously, American Counter-Strike is in shambles as we speak.
Yeah.
I do not know how you're going to resurrect that. FaZe didn't even make it, so I don't know what to tell you guys. There's no hope. There's no hope at the moment. There's no hope. There's
Kerrigan
absolutely
was
no
the
hope.
key. Kerrigan was the key.
We know that Kerrigan can pull teams together. People like to
Yes.
play for him. You can see it with Falcons. We're going to talk about them a bit later, but people like to play for him. That's the thing. You can, his output is what it is. He's not the highest hitting in-game leader in the game.
No.
He's not a James, and that's okay at this stage of his career, but he does make people around him better, period.
Yeah.
He gives you energy. The ambulance is coming. So, he's going to have the crowd behind him. They're going to have the crowd behind them. The players are going to have energy. So whatever, if you're in a slump, you bring in Kerrigan, you know exactly what you're getting. And Falcons was there. They couldn't get over the hump, so they got him now. Good for them. But yeah, in terms of American Counter-Strike, we don't have to discuss nothing because there's nothing to discuss. But obviously the Aussie team made it through.
Hell yeah. Aussie,
We're
Aussie.
obviously based in Australia here for the viewers. Yeah, they made it through. 2-2 match against Liquid. They won that one 2-0 convincingly. 32 on Anubis and 13-7 on Inferno, which, if you look at the names, Elish, Nav, Ultimate, Malps, and Shui, there's actually a decent team. There's some names. You, again, can't make this up, but what are you going to do? And then Bet Boom and Bait made it through as the 3-0 teams. So good for them. And obviously now, spoiler alerts, Bet Boom made it through to the playoffs. Going to talk about them in a hot second here. And then if you go to stage 2, give me one moment. Obviously there some powerhouses came into there. Spirit came in stage 2. There we go. There I have it. Spirit came in stage 2. Obviously knocked everyone out of there. 3-0. But also FUT 3-0, which I think was one of the more surprising ones.
They've been playing well, man.
FlyQuest didn't make it 0-3, but I wasn't surprised by that. They started to fall apart a bit against those better teams. You can tell that they just don't have it against the good teams. There's a clear cutoff. But look, stage 2 is good. Gamer Legion 0-3, that was surprising. That was surprising to me. And they played like absolute dog shit. I don't know, they're ranked 11 or whatever at the moment, 11, 12, something like that.
My boy Snack.
And going out 0-3 like that. But they had some reshuffle of their squad, and then, coach is gone now. They have a new coach and everything. So let's see how that's going to develop. MIBR out, Astralis out, Big out, Pain out. I thought they're going to make it. So they've played some good Counter-Strike in the last couple of months. But look, let's forget about stage 2. Let's look at the big one here. Let's look at the big one here.
Big boys.
What do we got?
Hey.
What do we got? First of
Let's
all,
talk about 9Z, huh?
9Z probably the biggest surprise.
Look,
I would say so.
I was following.
Yeah.
Oh no, I was following. Obviously, going to it's always a fun time when it gets closer to the playoffs. And 9Z, I thought they beat their PARIVISION. It might be like a not a fluke, but you know, a 50-50 game, and then they backed it up with beating Vitality. You know, I mean, beating Vitality. Look, and then obviously they face Spirit. Spirit's been, you know, hitting on all cylinders. Makes sense, but you know, they beat last night the
But hey,
Mongols.
Spirit, close match. I watched that thing. It was
Yeah.
16-12 on overpass for 9Z, and then they lost the next two maps, which was both overtime. So all three maps
Overtime,
went
yeah.
to the overtime, 16-13, 16-14. So
Yeah.
that's a 50-50 situation that we got right there. And Spirit is
Yeah.
Donk is playing the best Counter-Strike of anybody at the moment. Obviously, you know, are you surprised? Probably not. But yeah, go ahead, 9Z. What a show.
No, and you know, like I mentioned, Camille, they beat Mongols, and I
Yep.
think we should talk about a little bit about Mongols because I feel like ever since Senzu departed, they've been going downhill ever since. You know,
Yeah.
we I think we looked at Mongols as this quote unquote dark horse of a team.
Always,
but
always.
they've been stinking. Especially when it comes to the real stuff, you know, like the Cologne major where it's all for the marbles. You gotta show up, and that game, sorry, that big best of 3 last night against 9Z, it felt very. I feel like they didn't really want to play properly. You know what I mean? Like
they were never really in it, were they? It's 13-8, 13-8, but
Yeah.
that could have been 13-5 or whatever. They were never really in those games. They lost a bunch of firepower with Senzu, and obviously being from Mongolia, they have a limited talent pool they can choose from. That's just what it is. And their whole thing is, you know, they're not Navi, where Blade's playbook is, you know, the holy grail. That's, you know, it's not about the individual players. It is about the organization and the playbook.
Yes.
Whereas the Mongols, it's all about individual firepower. So losing it hurts them double just because of how they're structured and how they play. But yeah, look, Cobra Zera, who came in for Senzu, really poor showing yesterday, but yeah, what are you going to do? Only Mzinyu showed up yesterday. And shout out to DGT, left the server with a 1.76 rating.
That's crazy.
Donk like.
I thought 910 was a bit. I mean, everyone really didn't put up a great performance at all. But you know, Techno 0.59, not something that you want.
If you're all pass performing like that, talking about 910,
yeah,
you're not gonna have a good one. The all-pass are way too important, always in Counter-Strike, but today especially they can be the difference makers in today's Counter-Strike. But that's 910 for you. He's gonna pop off one game and not show up the other. He can go absolutely crazy, but he's very very inconsistent, and that's you know, unfortunate. But yeah, Mongols don't make the playoffs. That's, you know, that's something. MongolZ didn't make the playoffs.
Yeah, you can talk about that. Talk to me about MongolZ.
I watched every single game of theirs. I watched one or two back to back just to get some idea of what's going on. Obviously, this major comes at the worst time for them because they are in a restructure. Obviously, they brought in what's his name, Zelex, from their academy for Jimmy. Jimmy is out at the squad at the moment. So Zelex is a permanent fixture in the squad as far as we know right now, right? And he can hit really, really hard, but he's very inconsistent at the moment. But that is okay. He's a true rookie. This is a true rookie. So I don't expect him to go, you know, 1.3 rating every single tournament. He will have ups and downs, and they'll need to figure out where to put him, right? You got a new in-game leader with Exertion. Obviously, he was calling a lot of the, I think, T-side is what he called a lot, even when Brolan was still in-game leader. But now it's purely Toji, so new in-game leader, true rookie, and also the last tournament you played with JL instead of Brolan. So how awkward must that be? And how, like, shout out to Brolan because he actually performed really well in some of the matches.
Yes.
I'm saying some because he put up a couple stinkers, obviously. He played really good against Legacy. And then who they play next? I forgot. Yeah, Furia. They got smacked in the face by Furia. He played very average. And then I think the more the tournament went on, I think they won 2 games. He played the worst, yeah. But it's not, that can't be easy for him, obviously. You know, you have JL playing for you, maybe playing for a spot. You don't know if you're going to go back or not.
Yeah.
That can't be easy. I liked how they played with JL. I'll be quite honest with you. If they can get him, take him. But obviously now we have to talk about Navi. They might make some changes. So I don't think he's going to go back to Navi personally because let's talk about MongolZ. Let's finish MongolZ. MongolZ need to figure out what to do with Brolan. That's the big one. The big one. Figure out what to do with Brolan. I am not happy what I'm seeing out of Torzi, to be quite honest with you, and I'm a Toji. I love him. I think he's great. He's got a great personality. It wasn't his worst tournament, but again, it's your AWPer, and he's very up and down. That's just a problem. Maybe I don't know. I don't know. It's just when you look at the top teams, they have very consistent opening. If you look at the Furias, the Spirits, the Vitalities, obviously, we don't have to talk about them. Falcons with Monacy.
Woo. Yeah. There's just some holes that need to, cover up.
But I don't think they can do much. I don't think there's anyone available in terms of AWPers on the market at the moment. I think they'll stick with Toji, which is fine. Just make it more consistent, and then they'll have to look at the Broland situation. Zelex will stay because I liked what I saw when they played with JL. I thought Zelex was playing really, really sharp Counter-Strike when they played with JL. Now with Broland, I don't know position-wise if it was tough to make some calls or whatever, but there'll be some changes for sure. Minimum Broland, hopefully JL. I liked what I saw. And also, we always talk about that mouse squad, they don't have no aura, they're not cool. And you know what I mean? Like JL changed that. Changes that.
You get that personality.
He's a cool guy. Everyone loves him. He's great. So yeah, that's mouse for you, but that's obviously the biggest disappointment. And then PARIVISION 03. They've been playing some up and down Counter-Strike lately as well, mostly down, but 03 is not it. 03 is not it.
Oh, sir.
So let's see what happens there. And then the big one, Navi. That was obviously that's the big one. Last night I saw the match this morning. I saw the match this morning because obviously in Australian times that match was on at 3 in the morning. Happening. I am sorry. I got a job. So I watched it this morning. Watched the whole thing.
Yes.
I couldn't believe what I'm seeing. They were getting over entries. They got all the entries in the world. 5v3s. They lost 5v3s. They lost 4v2s. I think I had the stats up earlier just to check for the show. I think they had like 40 entries to 20 from G2 for the entire series. How do you lose that? They couldn't convert those entries, and this is crazy. It's absolutely crazy what I saw.
Like the Spurs out there.
Pretty much. That was pretty much. They got away with it on Dust 2 because G2 was banging down the doors on B every single round, and they couldn't hold. The first couple of rounds, then they adjusted and it worked. But the first couple of rounds, their B defense crumbled, and their mid defense, they couldn't get anything. They couldn't anything. And that's where they lost 5v3s and 4v2s and all that. But yeah. And then Inferno overtime, sort of whatever, and Mirage.
Where do you see Navi going?
I mean
obviously we talked about.
By the way, something happened that what's his name, Blade, the podcast apparently talked about there might be changes and all that.
Yeah, he said we didn't deserve to be in top 8 with this type of performance.
Exactly. I mean, he's always very, very, very honest about their performance and how they play. He's very analytical. This playbook that they play is very deep. It's very complex. I personally wouldn't change anything with Alexi because obviously you're going to throw his name in there. If you lose 4v2s and 5v3s, the issue is mid-round calling, right? How do you get exposed in a 5v3? You don't adjust. You do not adjust. You leave yourself exposed, and that's mid-round calling for you. So obviously, he's not going to get away from the blame. But I like Alexi. I think he's a great dude.
I really like the whole team.
I love the whole team, but if you don't make top 8 in the major, that's going to stink up your entire season. That's the problem, right? It's going to stink up the entire season. Your entire season is
what you play for.
Look like a pile of shit. Yeah. So the rumors are IEM might be going. People want Frozen from Navi, from a phase, excuse me. That would obviously be more firepower. IEM is up and down, mostly down. His rating isn't great in the last 3 months. Obviously, then you look at him. Because Wonderful gives you some beautiful, more good performances than not. I really like Wonderful. He developed really, really well, I think, under Alexi in the past year. More consistent than not. So I like him. Makazi is playing lights out most tournaments. I think that this game was a bit of a stinker for him. What was his rating? Yeah, he had the worst rating on his team with 0.88. But overall, Makazi is playing well. So if you want to... And Bit is playing very good Counter-Strike as well. So I'm looking at IEM. If you can get your hands on Frozen, I don't even know if, FaZe... obviously FaZe has money. They don't need to, sell their players off for some profit. They, it's not like... They're not Gamer Legion or whatever that like to sell their players off.
They're not an academy, yeah.
So they have to address, I think, the IEM situation. Let's see if they make a change or not. But shout out to G2. I didn't see this coming, not one bit. Sure. And I think, were they down 1... They were down 1-2.
They were 2-2.
They were
2-2.
Yeah, and then they made it through. So good for them. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, beating arguably the second best team in the world in Navi, it is always a great accomplishment, going to the playoff. But should we talk? Is there any other team you want to talk about, or should we get into the playoffs pick'ems?
I mean, let's run through who made it through, right? Furia, Spirit. They made it through on a 3.
Yeah.
The 3 ones were Vitality, Aurora. Surprised with Aurora on the 3-1. They look good. And the Falcons.
Yeah,
and
I mean, going into the playoffs, they beat Aurora, that is. They beat Monty, and then they go up. They beat G2, and
Yep,
of course
they
they
beat
beat
G2.
9Z, and then obviously now they're in the playoffs, but very strong from the Turkish.
Yep.
And
Yep.
and then 3-2 we got 9Z, Bet Boom, and G2 to round out the playoffs. So now we have the quarterfinals. As I'm making this video, we are a couple days away. It is Tuesday. They're gonna play Thursday night.
Thursday night out. Thursday night out.
Yeah, we're in the future, so we'll let you know if you want to write it down, guys. We'll let you know who's gonna win here. But we got Aurora versus Bet Boom. Camille, talk to me. Who do you like to see? I personally want to see Aurora go through against Bet Boom, but tell me.
Yeah, it's a bit of a 50-50 for me, but I would say Aurora just because they looked a bit hotter. Bet Boom, no slouch, making it through the playoffs. Shout out to them. I would give it to Aurora personally. Also, the way they played. I'm just looking at map pools. So Bet Boom. All right, so Bet Boom's going to ban Inferno. They don't play Inferno, and that's Aurora's best map. So that works in their favor. Good for them. Dust. Both teams like their Dust. Okay, that could be interesting. So Aurora doesn't play Ancient. They're going to ban Ancient. Bet Boom's going to ban Inferno. So these are locks. And then the interesting bit could be Nuke. Nuke and Overpass. Let's see if we see, because Nuke is heavily weighted for Bet Boom. They have 67% win rate on 15 maps versus Aurora's 36. And then Aurora got the same percentages just swapped on all. So let's see if one team can get away with, this. What I mean is I think the picks and bans could be very interesting here, because there's some lopsided maps in there. But anyways, I got Aurora. If I put my money on them,
me too.
I got Aurora.
Well, you hear it first, guys. Aurora's gonna win. If you're a betting man, put Aurora, because obviously we're gonna know first because we live in Australia. Next up,
that's right.
This might be, I don't want to say it's one-sided, because Furia versus 9Z, and 9Z's been putting up great performances, and as you say, as we mentioned before, they almost gave Spirit a bit of a spanking, because that series was really close. Played all 3 maps, and but who do you like in this matchup, Camille? I'm gonna go with 9Z. I'm gonna stick with him. I know Furia.
Really, that'd be a pretty big upset, I would say. Furia looks
Fallen, because Fallen is retiring.
That's right. Fallen announced his retirement. I don't know if it's after this one.
Maybe at the end of the year.
But he announced his retirement. He told his wife he's stepping down finally. What a legendary career, Hall of Fame right here. But obviously they're playing for him now, right? Yes, they're playing for him. This team, they love.
This is the Argentinian team, you know what I'm saying, with Messi.
Yeah. That's right, just in Brazil, but they play for each other hard.
Yeah, for sure.
Obviously, you have a South American matchup here. 2 heavy hitters. 9Z being the underdog. On paper, they are the underdog. Are they really? I don't know. Let's see. I got Furia personally, just off of the fact how they played the last couple of months, Fallen retiring, and they're going to do everything. They're going to scratch everything tooth and nail to get that map for them, to get that match for them. I'm just looking. So both don't play Anubis, and Furia doesn't play Ancient. Okay. Furia bans Ancient. 9Z is going to ban Anubis, or they want to play a map they both don't play. Let's see, maybe someone prepped for it. But it's going to be some classic stuff. It's going to be Dust. It's going to be Inferno. And
that's going to be the series that I'm.
That's going to be banger, and it's going to be loud. This is going to be loud.
Oh yeah,
the crowd go nuts. There's a lot of South Americans in Germany. The crowd, especially in Cologne, these guys are going to go absolutely nuts. Mark my words. The cathedral is going to shake. That's the one I'm putting in headphones. I'm sitting on the couch.
Yeah.
That thing.
VR. You might.
VR.
VR.
Yeah, I might just fly out there. But bottom line, that I'm very.
It's that type of game, though. It is. It's that type of game. That type of matchup.
The cathedral will go nuts.
And we love stories. Like you said, going into this, we got the South American Derby. Yep. We got 9Z, who's this dark horse that beat these top teams, almost beat Spirit, and then now we got Furia with their stories, Fallen, possibly last tournament, probably not, but so you got Furia. I'm gonna stick with my boys. 9Z.
Yeah.
So if you're a betting man, maybe don't bet on this one, because we don't know who's gonna win yet.
We'll tell you from the future.
we'll tell you. Next up, G2 Spirit. I think this is. I'm gonna go with Spirit. They've been. Who do you like?
No one's getting past Donk at the moment. No one is getting past Donk. 1.5 rating in the past.
Whew.
One thing I forgot with this whole G2 thing. Heavy God did play lights out against Navi. Absolutely lights out. So shout out to him. 1.54 rating. He had like 3Ks, 4Ks in that. This guy played sensational. So I'm curious, can he keep that form? That the only way I see this is if Heavy got like goes on a donk basically, 1.5 plus rating and just carries that team. But I don't see that happening. I don't see that happening. It's Spirit. Spirit is red hot. Spirit is red hot.
I think Dunk realizes that, hey man, this major is wide open, right? Vitality they haven't played their best CS. And obviously Navi is out, right? Why can't we not? Why, we can go all the way here and potentially lift the whole trophy. And like you said, Donk has been incredible.
Yeah,
to say the least. So I think this is pretty easy. I'm gonna go Spirit.
Also, imagine what that would do to his. Yeah, we talk about legacy already, right? He's 19 years old or whatever. If he already would have 2 major wins,
2 majors.
You know what I mean? Let's see, but yeah,
imagine.
Yeah, there's blood in the water with Vitality, so he knows.
2 majors, 2 major MVPs before the age of 20, and we talked about Zai Wu. He's 3 for 3, but Donk is not technically not an adult yet. He's still a teenager doing this thing.
That's the thing. Zai Wu is 25 right now. So, it is in Counter-Strike terms, it's a different generation, right? 6, 7 years apart or whatever it is. That's a long time in Counter-Strike. So yeah, there's blood in the water with Vitality for sure. Personally, we're going to talk about our favorites for this whole thing. We're going to go through this whole thing, but yeah, Spirit over G2 any day of the week. Any day of the week.
Yes, sir. And then of course, last but not least, this is probably the heaviest matchup. Vitality.
Big one.
I think for me, I'm gonna go with the boys. Vitality. Look, we talked about Kerrigan getting these guys together, playing more mature CS. I just don't see them passing Vitality. If they somehow pull it off, obviously, you got to give credit where credit is due. But I'm gonna go Vitality here. What do you think, Camille?
Yeah, same. I'm not gonna put anyone against Vitality until I'm proven wrong.
Yes.
That you just have to beat them to win the major, unless you go through a different bracket or whatever. But this is the juggernaut still. They are still in their legacy time. Whatever they win at the moment is just going to put the icing on the cake. To me, we can talk about this as well. That they are the best team of all time.
Yep.
Period. I've witnessed the Astralis. I've watched every single game while Astralis was doing Astralis things.
You putting them over the Astralis dynasty?
The last major. Cleared them. The last major cleared them, and they had those long runs of 20 plus wins in a row, and another one on 20 plus. They've got all that, and also the dominance of them. They're clearing teams in the finals 3-0, 3-1, and make it look easy. It's that I've witnessed Astralis for up until 6 months ago. That was probably for me. It was still 50-50, where I maybe would have put Astralis ahead, just because I've witnessed. They reinvented Counter-Strike, basically, right? They're they're the Golden State Warriors with their 3-point shooting. They just reinvented how Counter-Strike is played, how serious you take it. They were the first who had like psychologists, team physios, team chefs, team all that. They did the gym in the morning together. They were the first real professionals. But also they reinvented how Counter-Strike is played, with how you smoke, how you flash, how you execute. So whatever, no one can take that away from them, but I have Vitality clear of Astralis. You can't deny the greatness of Astralis. You can't. You just can't.
Hey,
I think
they cleared out.
Yeah.
No, I was just about to say they cleared out last year's majors, right? They won in Austin.
Yeah, and that was the big one. And then back to back, what's it called? Grand Slam thingy?
Yeah. A lot of money for
they
these
got
boys.
a lot of golden bars, so
but they play well. This major they haven't been the cleanest, but they play like they're still pro.
No, but still,
when it comes to the playoffs,
they click,
they still
no one can. Yeah, if they they switch the thing, no one can beat them. So until they actually lose in 2 majors, let's say they go out quarterfinals, semifinals, or whatever, back-to-back major. Okay, this was their run. Let's see what comes after that, right? They? But at the moment, we're still in the Vitality era. So you got to respect that. Going Vitality all day, every day. The only way. Falcons just need to click. Nico, he's playing a fantastic tournament, by the way. Shout out to him, because I was doubting him the last couple of majors and tournaments where he was a bit down. Nico is one of my favorite players of all time. I love his personality. He's very honest. I love his interviews. He's great. Everyone needs to click. Everyone needs to click. They might have a chance. It's not impossible. Yes. It's not impossible. There's blood in the water. But I feel like that's when they're the best, though, Vitality, right? When there's some blood in the water. When they know, okay, these motherfuckers. Everyone's doubting us here. Let's show us the kind of stuff
that's
that
what I'm
these guys
saying.
live for. And
They
he,
play
you know,
like
his Psycho Apex comes in.
I'm saying they play like, hey, we got no trophies behind us. You know what I'm saying? That's what I love.
Yeah.
And like I said before, Apex looking for his fifth. Zawu, you know, four majors, four finals MVP, not finals MVP, sorry, four majors MVP, and you know they're so fun to watch. And I think, look, can the Falcons win one map? Cool, but can they beat Vitality? I just don't see it. I'm gonna go with Vitality. Like with you, Camille. Should we talk about the semifinals, or is that a later video? What do you reckon?
No. Let's do the whole thing. I'm just going through the maps right now for Vitality Falcons potential, like the matchup, right? I think the map pool even favors Vitality. That's the other issue, right? Because so here's the thing: Vitality is going to ban Ancient. They don't play the map, and then Falcons already have to make a decision because they don't play Anubis technically. They only have 3 games on it or Overpass. They don't play Overpass, and Vitality has the 89% win rate in the past 3 months on Overpass. So technically you have to ban Overpass. Then I'm going to be curious what we're going to see. I suspect we're going to see a nuke. Both teams are really good on nuke. I'm going to say Vitality is going to pick Inferno because Falcons are ass on Inferno. For that, it just doesn't click for them. Falcons is picking, I would say, probably Dust because that's the most sort of like you can outgun teams maps, and you can have a double AWP setup on the Falcon side as well. And then a third map. I think it goes to 3 maps. Ultimately, Vitality's winning.
It's a full series.
So it's going to be full. I
think. I'm taking Vitality.
Yeah.
I haven't seen a team this nasty, you know, we're talking about, you know, throughout the whole CS history, obviously. But let's move on to the semifinals.
So your bracket would be in the upper semi would be 9Z against Aurora.
9Z.
What do you got? Right. That's crazy. One of them is going to
be
one of them would be grand finalist, right? That's crazy.
Hey, 9Z, let's make it happen. I'm gonna go. It's gonna be a full series, best of 3. All 3 maps gonna played. But I think 9Z, man. You just hope that they can carry that momentum from, you know, the early stages to the playoffs. Obviously, beating Furia is gonna be an upset for Furia, but I hope they can carry all that momentum to Aurora and belt to ass. Yes, I'm gonna go with 9Z. Who do you have there? So you got Furia.
For me would be Furia, for sure. I think it's a lock. Not a lock. Obviously, nothing's a lock in Counter-Strike, right?
For Aurora?
No, Furia. So I'm picking Furia over Aurora in the semi and might make it to the...
Yeah. And then the second bracket, I think we got the same one, right?
We got the Spirit. That's the big one. That's basically grand final for me. Technically, I would like to pick Spirit, but I've done the mistake of doubting Vitality in some other finals or semifinals where they looked a bit off, maybe in the group stage, and all of a sudden they're smashing. You know, they'll find a way. That's the best of 3? Yeah, that's the best of 3 as well, which is a bit of a shame. But they'll find a way for some reason. I don't know. The Apex is going to flip the whole crowd off. Everyone will boo him, and that's his energy, and that he can distribute via a Genki Dama or something. I don't know. And all of a sudden, they're smashing Vitality 2-0. They're smashing Spirit 2-0. Excuse me. It might just happen. So I would.
I'm never betting against the Woo. Not gonna lie. I'm just saying. But I got Vitality as well.
Yeah. So then for you it would be 9Z Vitality final.
Vitality. That's
Furia Vitality for me. Yeah.
That's where the train stops. Vitality. Hey, 9Z, cool. Thank you. You know, you pulled FaZe. We didn't see FaZe go into the finals last major, but they did. So it's sort of the exact same story there, but not really. But I'm gonna go with Vitality. I want to see the Woo picks up his 4th and hopefully I'll keep saying finals MVP. Sorry, we've been talking about NBA for a while.
Too much.
Yeah. Sorry, major MVP. There you go. 4 for 4. Let me get that 4-4. But Ben, so you got Furia.
Vitality final for me, and I'm picking Vitality as well. Yeah. Obviously, how cool of a story would it be if they can get it done for Fallen? That would be an absolute Cinderella, not Cinderella, because they're almost like they're juggernaut, but that would be crazy. It's like a Messi type
like
thing,
Argentina,
right? Like you said,
Argentina, yeah.
That's what it is. But I would. Fallen is such a wholesome guy. I love it for him. I absolutely love it for him. It's just I don't like to stand Vitality squad. They keep proving everyone that no one's beating them. No one's beating them. No,
You know, they've been
I don't
there,
know.
they've
I don't
done
know. Like I don't see that. I don't know. Are we going to stay in the Vitality era for the next 2 years? I don't know. It might just happen. It might just happen.
Hey,
They
I
got
mean,
a great
you know,
coach as well. Like, you know, they have the whole package. They have the whole package.
shout out to Australis. Speaking of coach, right? He was there.
Yeah.
Countless.
Let's see if he can pull some strings for the Falcons there.
Hey,
Yeah,
anyway.
we both got Vitality. We're not going to, count against them. Obviously, it's just madness at this stage. Yeah, they dropped the game. They dropped the game. Who cares? Who cares? At the end of the day, who won the major? No one's going to remember if they dropped the game.
Yeah, you're right. That's why 9Z. If you're 9Z, let's win this major, baby. Come on, baby. 9Z. But no, all jokes aside, that's basically our Cologne major. If you're watching this, I'm telling you, you put your money on Vitality, 9Z and Vitality, you make a lot of money. We live in the future over here. You know, no joke around. But that's pretty much it, right? Nothing else to talk about.
I mean, there's going to be a bunch of videos in the next couple of days. Once those matches wrap up, there's going to be a lot to talk about because these are some
reviews.
I mean, if you have 9Z Furia, that's going to be a hell of a match. I'm actually looking forward to that one, like quite a lot.
Yeah.
And then Falcons Vitality, those are the big matches for the quarterfinals. Yeah. It's the best time to be a Counter-Strike fan.
Yeah. We're gonna come back, talk about these guys. Hopefully we see some upsets. Hopefully maybe not, maybe so. But yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Make sure to check out our main channel, which is we talk about football, basketball. Hell, we're gonna talk about NFL, right? We're gonna talk all sports. Come here if you want to talk about esports. It's the best time. Cologne major is always better than that. Nothing's better than that, actually. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. It's been Raja and Camille. We see y'all in a few days.
All love, guys. All love. See ya.